Hey there, hope you're doing good. Today is day 12 of the 30-day art challenge, and the art challenge is to do my interpretation of Genesis 1:1. In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. So this is my interpretation of the beginning of what we know as life. I've been really thinking hard about this one, and I found a piece of artwork on Google that I thought was beautiful, that represented heavens and earth and the beginning of life, and so I'm kind of taking my inspiration from that picture. And I'm using squeeze bottles because already the colors are in the bottles, and I did not want to mix up 10 or 12 different things of paint for this one painting. So they do have silicone in the bottles, and I mixed up two more that I'm not putting silicone in at this point. Now once I'm finished and transfer it to my bottles, I will add silicone with whatever's left to go into my bottles, because that always has silicone in it. But I'm not looking for cells, but there's going to be cells because of the silicone in the squeeze bottles. It's all Deco Art colors. Titanium white is in my squeeze bottle. Lamp black is in my squeeze bottle. Those never have silicone in them. The rest of the colors are Primary Yellow, Orange Flame, True Red, Bright Blue, which the bottle is getting close to being empty, so I mixed up some more because I figured I might or may not need it. So that is the Bright Blue. Ultra Blue Deep, which is this bottle here. Dioxazine Purple, and I may not use all of these colors, but I'm pulling them out just in case. Dark Chocolate, Prussian Blue, which I do not have in a squeeze bottle, but this is what is in the cup. Prussian Blue is a really deep turquoise blue, so that's what is in there. Desert Turquoise, and my little squeeze bottle here that just has a little bit Teal Mint. I have what I consider a bronze color, but it's not Deco Art's bronze. It is their Rich Espresso. I'm sorry, that's this bottle, which is the Rich Espresso. This one is the dark chocolate here. And then the copper that I like is a combination of the Extreme Sheen copper, which is really, I don't know if you can see that, but a really red, deep copper. And then their bronze is, to me, not bronze looking at all because it's more yellowy. So I combine the two to get the copper in this bottle. I also have a cream color, and I just mix it up between white and dark chocolate and a little bit of the yellow till I get kind of a warm tan color. The light buttermilk that I was going to use was too yellowish, and so I kind of mix my own color when I don't find the one that I want exactly. So I'm going to scoot those. I'm trying to make sure I have lots of lighting. I do have what I think is Prussian Blue in a squeeze bottle, but it does have silicone in it, and I didn't want to use it. I wanted to use one without silicone, so that's why I mixed up more that is not in the squeeze bottle. So I've got an assortment of tools. I have my straw, my skewer, my store card, my plastic scrapers. I have the piece of screening that I used the other day to get the Floetrol fluggers out. Fluggers is another word besides the naughty word called boogers, which is not nice. So I called it fluggers because it's those same kind of things that come in Floetrol in little slimy chunks. And this is screening, but I've decided it's too open weave. As you can see, it's too open, and it still allows tiny ones to get through. So I have decided that people that use the really fine wire mesh strainers for sinks or pantyhose, that is the best solution to strain your Floetrol. But I thought this would be a good swiping thing because you can kind of see through it. It's very, very lightweight, and I thought it would, you know, provide possibly something easy to swipe with. I have my little palette knife, the oval palette knife that is T35. I got that at Jerry's Artorama. I got a lot of dried paint, probably from the table, I don't know, but this is called a catalyst wedge. It's made out of silicone. This is a W06. So it's flexible and it's made from silicone, and I may use this and I may not. I take a cup and put my caps for all my squeeze bottles in it. And so I'm going to do an earth type scene here with a sky, outer space top part to it. And I may do some little mini flip cups across here. So that's why I have my little cups out here. I have a big one for in case I want to do a larger dirty pour. I've just kind of been, trying to think over how I want to do this to portray in my mind what I want to do in fluid art. I am a realistic acrylic painter. And so fluid art is fabulous for me because it represents abstract and flow and freedom, which I absolutely love. And so when I'm wanting to portray something specifically, it's probably a lot easier for me to just paint it out with the paintbrush. But I like the freedom that fluid art allows me. So that is why I'm trying to do it with fluid art instead, because I want to think outside the box. So I know that I'm going to do my ground or earth part of my pour first that represents land, and so it's going to be fairly linear, and there may be some little hills and a valley, I'm not sure. I don't mean for this to take so long to explain. So the middle area right here is going to be the horizon line. It's going to be a little bit of a distance of horizon feeling colors, maybe sunshine or whatever. So I'm going to, the one other color I did not mention was burnt sienna. I couldn't find my bottle for that because it's been in my squeeze bottle for some time. So I think this was burnt sienna, and so I'm going to use some of that. I'm also going to add a little white in. There's some orange. Shoot down some copper in there. Maybe just a hint of the espresso, which is metallic. And I'll put in some cream. And I'm going to kind of give this a little stir. I'll put a little of the yellow back on top. It's supposed to feel like sunrise, sunset, background, horizon line. So that will be there. And then I may go over it with squeeze bottles and manipulate it. So the next area is going to be a really soft background color. A horizon maybe of some mountains. So I'm going to do some cream. Maybe a little bit of the dioxazine purple. Some white. Maybe a little turquoise. I'm going to bring out the purple rain. A little bit of the bright blue. And a hint of the Prussian blue. Some white. Let's do a little teal mint. So that will be my next area where the kind of a mountainy horizon is. Then I want what will appear as soft mountains. So I'm going to start with the cream, Purple Rain, a touch of the dioxazine purple, some dark chocolate, teal mint, a little bit of bright blue. So some of this has silicone, some does not. Maybe a little copper. Do the cream color again. The rich espresso. And then this part would be the up close land. So I'm going to do a larger cup for this one. I didn't mention peacock teal, but I'm going to throw that in on this one, which is a mixture of peacock teal, ultra blue deep, and evergreen. So I'm going to start this one with burnt sienna, a little bit of black. I want this to feel a little bit dark. I did not bring out the bottle of festive green, but that would be the green, teal mint, some cream, just a trickle of orange. I'll do a little bit of Prussian blue without the silicone in it. I'm having a time getting my words out today. Some brown, copper, there's a fligger. I'll do a little bit of the yellow, the dark brown, a little black, burnt sienna, cream, copper, green. Maybe shoot some desert turquoise down in there. Okay, so that's going to be my darker foreground here. That's going to be the closest to me. So I'm going to start with this background, which represents kind of a skyline. And I think what I'm going to do is I'll just try to scoot everything where it's not in my way. You can't have your paints in the way when you're trying to swipe and do that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to move them out of the way. So this would be kind of the sun, horizon, sunset, that kind of thing. So that came out deeper than I wanted, but I'm not going to fret over it because I may very well change it up in places. I'm just kind of trying to get the base out of this piece. So then this would have been the soft background of land, mountains. I'm just dragging my cup through it. And get some of this up and bring it down here. Maybe even shoot in a little bit of extra white there. I can even run my finger through it. Just to soften it slightly. So this is, you know, kind of like representational of land, mountains, that kind of thing in the background. Then here I want my ridge line of what would be kind of a dark mountain, but off in the distance. And I'm going to add some more color to this because I don't feel like I have enough paint after seeing what's come out of the cup here. This is an 18 by 24 canvas, and I want to make sure I have enough. Okay, so there should be a little bit here that is like the illusion of water, but then the earth is, you know, kind of in this area. So what I'm going to try to do is pour this kind of back and forth. Drag it over with my cup. So I'm just dragging my cup through it, the edge of my cup. Kind of using my cup like a palette knife or, you know, whatever to move my paint around. Take it and use it on the ends of the canvas too. Make sure my ends are covered. I'm going to use the cup that I used the sky for. Kind of put those same colors in it, bright blue. Maybe a dribble of the Prussian blue. Some white. Maybe a little peacock teal, turquoise, some purple rain. Some more white, maybe a little teal mint. Bogged down. So I keep a toothpick nearby, and it's just got a little dried paint at the end of the needle nose, because this has a really pointed end to the bottle. It's more like a writer bottle, but it's not with the metal needle. But it goes down to a really smaller point. So it's easy for it to get dried up there in the middle. Do a little bit more white. So this would be my water, body of water. So I'm going to use just my finger to scoot that paint to the edge of the other paint. And actually the cup works really kind of well for just kind of blending the edge of the cup. You can wipe it off occasionally, but you kind of want that feeling of land into water with maybe a little reflection or whatever. So just kind of dragging it back and forth. And here I want to bring this brown down just a little bit. Just a little bit, just like a reflection. Maybe that and a little bit of the copper. Take my palette knife and just very softly skim through it. So it's a little bit of a reflection feeling. Add a little bit more white. Just trying to move the paint around just a little bit. Try to straighten out a little bit of the lines here. With my fingers. And you can always lift it back a little. And I want some of this water not to look so bouncy. And this should be a little bit more flat here. So I'm just going through with my finger and removing some paint. And then this should scoot down some. And then if it doesn't move on its own very easily, you just take your little skewer and help it. Now I'm going to kind of just very gently bring my finger down on this paint here, just to get it to come down here a little bit. And I'm going to leave that for now, but I may add some more to that, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. So this, I want it to be the heavens and sky, and I want an overall feel of blue. So I'm going to just pour this in pretty much the way it is. Let me take my catalyst wedge and spread it with it just to see how it does. I've never even touched this on canvas before. I don't want that golden color mixed in. So let's see. Like I said, I have never used this before on canvas. I'm sure there's an art to using it. And I've seen some beautiful art on Instagram with people that use a catalyst wedge. And it's like, how on earth do they do that? But I think this one is bigger than the ones that I saw them holding. So I got the majority of the blue on here. I don't want to use all of it. So it rinses off well, I can say that. Now, I do want some clouds in the center. So I'm just going to, put in a little bit of this desert turquoise and a little white. I'm just going to use my fingers right now because I don't know what kind of look I want really, so I'm just going to use my fingers. So maybe I want to just blend that in a little bit. Ooh, I like that. I'm barely putting any pressure on the canvas on here. So now I want to go back and add the white back. Let me just see what the catalyst wedge does. It's not too bad. Hey there. So I'm finishing up my creation painting. It's dry except for the white here, and last night I couldn't resist and had to add more white, and I probably screwed it up. Like here I went above where the circle needs to be, so I'm going to paint out a little bit of that white there. This is going to be the end of my day 12, which was based on Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And I really enjoyed this challenge. And like I just added white here to round out this edge a little bit. But I also wanted to see if I can just add a little bit more. So I'm just going to be quiet. I don't like the fan brush, so I'm going to stick that in there. I'm going to squeeze out a little bit more white paint. I don't think I like that. I'm sorry, on the end of the creating part that I did yesterday, I did not know that my batteries died. So it's basically just sped up through the end process of the video, a good portion of it. So there's no talking, which I'm sure you might enjoy even that way. So, but my batteries died, and so I just thought, well, I'm going to end the video with this part of it anyway. I've got a little flub here. I've got to wait till it dries before I can paint it in with white, but here is my creation challenge, Genesis 1:1, and I am really pleased with it. I think it's kind of cool. And it's actually got quite a sheen to it, but I am going to seal it, especially with the thickness of this white paint. It's going to need a clear coat over it. I used the squeeze bottles that were all DecoArt colors, and so there is silicone in this painting. So it will have to be cleaned before I can seal it and all that good stuff. But I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if you will, give me a thumbs up, please, and subscribe to my channel. This was day 12, and on to day 13, which is already done, but I had to wait on this to dry in order to post it before the other one. So the day 13 challenge will be posted right after this one. So I hope you enjoy it as well. Also, make sure to go to underneath the link where it says show more. There's the information about colors, and there's links for Amazon, my PayPal account, my Patreon page, which I have started up, and I've already got some patrons there, and there's the DecoArt colors that I use. So there's information below every video under show more, or if you click the down arrow on your mobile device, you'll always find more information there about each video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.